all, I am Alene Nelson. Welcome to the Rape Counselors of East Alabama YouTube channel. I'm a volunteer with RCEA. I'm also a yoga instructor, and today I'm going to be teaching y'all about EFT. So EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. It's also known as tapping. This is a really easy technique that you can use to help relieve psychological and physiological stress after a sexual assault, but also it's really useful for like literally any kind of stressor you can think in your everyday life, like boy stresses, job stresses, school stresses, whatever. I was initially introduced to it by my psychologist after my sexual assault, and it did wonders for me. And then when I was traveling through Guatemala, I ended up taking a workshop on it from another psychologist to learn a little bit more in depth about it. And that's where a lot of the information that I'm going to be sharing with y'all today comes from. So EFT is called tapping because you're literally tapping your body. You're tapping these energetic points. You can almost call them like acupressure points. So you know how acupuncture, you stick in to certain energetic points that are connected to different like lymphatic systems or organ systems in your body. This is like that, but without the needle. So it's just you use your fingers. You can do 2 fingers, 3 fingers. You can use like all 5, whatever. Just a strong but firm pressure. Like think about if you're trying to like tap makeup off of a brush. That's the type of pressure that you're looking for. But this is all based on the principle that kinetic energy flows through your body, right? So in Chinese medicine, where acupuncture comes from and acupressure comes from, there are these meridians that go through your body, like connecting everything from the tip of your head to the tips of your toes. Different pressure points on these meridians are connected to different organ systems, and the ones that we're going to be tapping on today are like your primary meridians. It also follows the principles of like the psychology of positive affirmations, so saying something over and over until you believe that it's true, or until you start to feel like it's true, until you start to feel better about it. Like I said, you guys, this is something that my psychologist taught me after my own sexual assault, when I was dealing with all kinds of like negative psychological issues. I was dealing with physical trauma as well. Like I was having major migraines, stomach pains, everything. And tapping can help you with literally all of that. Tapping can help survivors cope with anxiety, with panic, with anger, with compulsions or obsessions that you develop after an assault, with depression. It can help you enhance your self-image. It can help you deal and cope with the grief and loss that comes with something as traumatic as a sexual assault. It can even help you cope with the negative memories that you have and like accepting them and accepting kind of what has happened to you, and that you're still you. You're still a completely whole, beautiful, wonderful person no matter what has happened to you. Radical self-acceptance is something that tapping has taught me. Tapping is really easy. Like I said, in traditional tapping, the first thing that you do is you kind of take a minute to check in with yourself emotionally. So kind of take a second to sit with yourself. See what you're feeling in your body, whether it's like tension in your jaw and your shoulders, whether it's like an upset stomach, whether it's a migraine, whether it's just one thought circling and circling in your head. Focus on that and think about it and scale the intensity of that distress. This is unrelated to RCEA's mission, but it's something that tapping can help with, because tapping helps with everything. Something I'm dealing with right now is deciding which classes to take online, deciding which direction to lead my life in, and which career path is right for me. Big stuff. And I think about that, and I think about kind of the thought pattern that's been going in my head for the past week or so and how I feel about it. I would say that my level of distress right now is like a 4. So once you've scaled your distress, once you've figured out what like the root of your problem that you think it is right now, and it doesn't have to be perfect, this is something that evolves through the process of your tapping, but once you have that, you find your setup phrase. So your setup phrase is what you say to yourself while you're tapping. So it's gonna be based something like, even though I don't know what I want to do with my life, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. For other people, it could be, even though I was raped, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even literally anything. Even though I still love my perpetrator, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Once you've got that setup phrase, we're gonna start tapping. There are a lot of different points that you can use. I'm gonna teach you the primary ones that I use in my own practice. So the first is at the crown of your head. The crown of your head is like where you would tie a really high ponytail, so like right up there. Then you go from there to, there's a little divot if you feel in your eyebrow. There's a divot right where it starts. That's your second point. Below your eye, right in the middle of your eye socket, there's a divot there too. Below your nose and above your upper lip, below your lower lip and above your chin, kind of in that little crease that you got. Then if you feel your two collarbones, go down 2 ribs and go a little outside until you feel a spot that's really sore. That's your lymphatic drainage point, and that is one of the most important spots that you're going to be tapping, so remember this one. There's also, you can stop there, you can only do your face. There's also one under your arm that if you're a lady, or for anybody, from your bra strap where it would start, you go under your arm, there's like a little divot that you'll feel like sore, kind of like under your collarbones did, there, under your arm. And then if you take your hand and you act like you're just gonna like karate chop your other hand, that spot right in the middle where you chopped, that's the last one. So when you're starting, you either rub that karate chop point or the lymphatic drainage point while you're repeating your setup phrase. So even though I'm unsure of what my future will bring, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Once you've done that, you start tapping. You repeat your phrase over and over. Even though I don't know what I'm doing with my future, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I don't know what I'm doing with my future, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. You can shorten it to, even though I don't know what I'm doing with my future, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I don't know what I'm doing with my future. I don't know what I'm doing with my future. I don't know what I'll do in the future. I don't know what I'll do in the future. I really don't know what I'll do in the future. Once you've gone through your sequence, and obviously, like, for me, when I first started doing this, I had a lot of emotions pop up. I was like sobbing, tapping myself in like public bathrooms and in like on the bus, literally everywhere. You can tap yourself anywhere in the world you are. And if people look at you funny, you can tap about that too. Like, even though these people are judging me, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. But once you've finished that sequence and you've gotten to the karate chop point, that's when you take a look at yourself, you check in with your body again. You can take some deep breaths, you can close your eyes, whatever, and sit there and scale your distress again. So for me, I mean, I even started laughing during that. My distress tolerance for not knowing what I'm doing with my future just went up like immensely. I'm at like a 1 on my distress tolerance scale. But say you're dealing with something more serious, like a sexual assault, and say through this tapping, your distress tolerance, your distress level has gone down, but as you were tapping, you kind of realized something else that was underlying the initial feeling. So like say, even though I was sexually assaulted, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Through that process of tapping, you've realized that you're holding on to like some self-guilt. You can tap to that too. You can then change your setup phrase and evolve it and continue to bring your distress level down. So say you're feeling that guilt. You can say, even though I feel responsible for my assault, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, and tap through again, scale it again. Do it as many times as you need to until you're starting to feel better. You've like gone through your feelings and you've kind of gotten to the real root of how it is. And if this doesn't work for you the first time, that's okay too. It's something that can take practice, but believing in it really, and believing that through these positive affirmations, you will start to radically accept who you are and what has happened to you, and that you're still like a beautiful, autonomous, empowered person. That's the most important thing. So what I want to do with you guys now is just go through a guided meditation with tapping that I wrote based on a bill of rights that my therapist gave me after I was sexually assaulted. So to do that, I want you guys first to close your eyes, sit up tall, lengthening your spine up through the crown of your head. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. You can let your eyes close. Relax your hips, relax your shoulders, relax the hinges of your jaw. Take your fingers and start massaging your lymphatic drainage point. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I have the right to make my own choices. I have the right to dignity and respect. I have the right to express myself. I have the right to say no. I have a right to make mistakes. I have a right to change my mind at any time. I have a right to forgive others and to forgive myself. I have the right to give and receive unconditional love. I have the right to celebrate my sexuality. I have the right to grieve when I don't get what I need. I have the right to trust others who earn my trust. I have a right to expect honesty from others. I have the right to change and grow. I have the right to be happy. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So, just take a second, soak in how you feel after that. Just to remind you guys of the sequence. First of all, you find the emotional root cause of your problem, or, the thought that's bothering you. You don't even have to get to the root when you first start. You scale your level of distress. You rub your lymphatic drainage point or your karate chop point. You go through your sequence of tapping. You finish. You rate your distress level again. You can change your setup phrase. You go again until your distress is literally down to a 0. That's how effective this can be. You also, if verbalizing anything is really difficult for you, if you are just absolutely distraught, you can do this without saying anything, and that works too, which is really beautiful. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Please follow RCEA on Instagram. Please follow me on Instagram. I do live yin yoga classes. I try to do it weekly. Sometimes it's a little more than that, but we do them. My Instagram is am_NEL. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you have a great rest of your day.